The Resident Evil Manhua universe is very intriguing, yet very bizarre. It has some unique elements that help describe certain events that took place before and after the outbreak in Raccoon City. One of the Manhua stories I've yet to go over is one based on Resident Evil 0. It has both pros and cons throughout the story. The art style is impressive. It does include creatures from the game such as the giant scorpion, but it's nearly impossible trying to take the story seriously when you get these random over-exaggerated anime moments. I'm gonna give you guys a couple examples of events in the Resident Evil 0 Manhua series that I will not be making a video on with my narration and sound effects since they're too ridiculous and should have no part in the story. When Billy gets ambushed by a group of zombies in the train, he injects himself with a virus, and instead of quickly turning into a zombie or a tyrant-like creature, he basically turns into a Super Saiyan. This happens as well with Leon in the Resident Evil 3 Supplemental Edition Manhua. I don't know where to begin with that story as well, as it even includes Ada Wong getting impregnated by a new tyrant. But anyways, I can't explain the Super Saiyan transformation. It's probably what happened to Wesker when they brought him back, but since he's already blonde, then I guess he's secretly been a Super Saiyan all along? Wouldn't that be something? That would explain his speed and power in RE5. See what I mean? It's pretty dumb. But that's just one of the weirdest things to be included with the RE0 Manhua and Supplemental Edition of RE3. Another one that I have to mention is that at one point, both Billy and Rebecca are at the Umbrella Executive Training Center. They reach a room with some horny guy getting candle wax sprinkled on his nips by some whores. Then suddenly Billy gets excited and rips Rebecca's shirt off. I don't think the illustrators of this comic series had any idea of what to do next. I don't see why they came up with these weird sexual moments, but they clearly don't belong in Resident Evil. Maybe the porn parody, but none of this is Resident Evil material. The story started off interesting. Bravo team made their way into the Arklay Mountains like they did in the intro to the game, only in this version, Billy wasn't the only prisoner that was on board at the Ecliptic Express. He had his own group which included his best friend called Tom, and this was something I was looking forward to. I wanted to see these characters make their way through the next locations like with Billy and Rebecca in the game's storyline. I wanted to see how far certain characters would get through these locations, but they get wasted right away, even before they exit the train. If you still want me to explain more about these events such as the ones that I'm describing in Resident Evil 0 Manhua, I'll try and only explain the good parts of the Manhua but in separate videos. That way we can compare them with the video game events. Moving on to the Resident Evil 2 Manhua, this one is very long. There are over 60 volumes for this Manhua story alone. The Resident Evil 0 Manhua has only 6 volumes, but each volume has about 33 pages. The RE3 Manhua has 26 volumes, including a separate RE3 Manhua known as Biohazard 3 Supplemental Edition. And finally, the Resident Evil Code Veronica Manhua, which has 18 volumes. So as you can see, the Resident Evil 2 Manhua just kept going and going as far as reaching 60 volumes. But if you think that's because they fully explored the depths of RE2, you are sadly mistaken. Not even halfway through the Manhua, it completely shifts into an early 90s Greek/futuristic themed anime. I don't get why they turned to this insanely random direction when all they had to do was include certain characters and side stories that took place during Resident Evil 2. But I just don't understand why they didn't just stop after the 14th volume, because that's around the point that the story shifts into that futuristic Greek anime style. But I think the creators of the Resident Evil 3 Manhua noticed this bizarre problem and tried fixing it by completely ignoring most of the storyline that went on with the RE2 Manhua, because they not only concentrated on the characters from RE3, but they also included characters from Resident Evil 2 and included short side stories that connect both game stories, since they pretty much did occur around the same time. Now, if you're still interested in knowing more about these Manhua stories, just let me know in the comments and I'll get further in depth with some of them, since there are some great moments that come from these Manhuas. The best one in my opinion would have to be the Resident Evil 3 Manhua. It does not disappoint, and if you need to look at some proof, just watch the videos I've made such as Carlos and his comrades parts 1 and 2, Joe's perilous struggle parts 1 through 3, and the 3 boss fights between William Birkin and the Nemesis. There are more continuing those paths of the videos from the ones I've just mentioned, but it's going to take some time to get those complete. There are many more side stories throughout the Resident Evil Manhua universe that truly explore the best parts of the classic Resident Evil games, and those are the ones I like to concentrate on rather than just anything that happens to be Resident Evil related. By the way, I will now be posting a lot of new exclusive content on my Patreon. I'm going to try and balance both channels out. I'm still making videos here on YouTube, but Patreon doesn't give me any shit when I add clips as examples, so if you're already a Patreon supporter, go check out the exclusive content that's already there. They're raw, unfiltered, and uncensored. Also, all my Gantz content is there as well, and I'm still making new ones, so be sure to check those ones out as well. And with that said, that's it for the video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. But most importantly, be sure to turn on notifications because YouTube won't bother to do its job even if you're subscribed. I'm finally starting to sell my merch, so be sure to get yourself a mug to go with that twisted grin, or a t-shirt. There's more new merch on the way, but also I'd like to give a big thanks to all my Patreon supporters. If you'd like to see your name on every outro of every new video, as well as receive an exclusive video every month, then show your support by donating a single $1. That's all it takes to receive many perks such as getting a look at the exclusive content. But anyways, I'll see you all in the next video, and remember to have an awesome day.